All right, everybody. We're down here in Downsville, Louisiana. Triple R Bay Pen, the last leg of the series of bays at hogbaying.com. They're gonna crown the new world champ this weekend, and there's been some good bays. There's been some bad bays, and most of the bad bays was mine. And we've had a fantastic time, but it has not been the best dog show for me. But I probably had one of the best times I've ever had here. We've been hanging out with some good folks. A lot of these people are family now, and I got a guest with me today. Some of you folks, y'all probably seen him several years back on he's a TV star too. Now y'all got to watch him. Not just a world famous hog dog man. We got Mr. Ronnie Creek here. Mr. Ronnie, you want to take just a second and tell people, you know, where you're from and where you at, and maybe not what all you done, but you know.
Well, we don't have enough time to cover everything I've done.
I heard that.
And I don't want to put that up because this is not an R-rated.
Well, this might be X-rated. You don't never know. Shit. We get on some of your stories, I'm sure to get like that. But no, you know, where were you born and raised at, and how'd you get into dogs?
I was raised in Belton, Texas.
Texas.
I lived around New Caney, Texas for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandpa had cow dogs. And that's where I kind of got into he had all just catahoulas and would go gather cows.
There you go.
He loaded the trailer up with dogs. And we went and gathered cows. And so that's kind of where I got to the point of being around dogs. And during the week, before we worked those bunch of cows, I'd take the dogs out and start gathering the cows up and bunching them up so it'd be easier to.
Yes.
So that's kind of where I started.
I got you. So how long have you been messing with the dogs over the period? You know.
Oh God, I started.
You can tell us how old you are if you want to, but you don't have to.
Well, I don't mind. I'm kind of proud of it. It's the fact that I've lived this long.
Yeah.
Through the things that I've been through.
Yeah.
I mean, I rode bulls for 27 years.
Good Lord.
And I've been run over by more bulls than most people seen driving down the road.
I understand that.
But I got into, it really started, I've always had them. Then I got started the competition dogs when I started coon hunting.
Oh yeah,
and I was
hunting.
Yeah.
What kind of dogs was it?
I had the old banjo blood in the tree and walkers.
Walker man.
Them walkers are hard to beat.
Well, I can't say nothing about no walker. I like a blue tick, but the only thing about a blue tick is it takes me about 1,000 of them to find a good one, or more, especially nowadays. But man, when you find a good one,
yeah,
they are good.
Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes you just ain't got that much time to pick through them.
Yeah. I don't have but so many years, so I need to hurry it up and get a good dog.
So you got to get the walker dog.
Yeah.
That way you can get that shit going.
Yeah.
There you go.
I had, during that time, I made 2 Grand Night champions, and I took a pair of red bones for a guy and made treeing champions out of them.
Damn.
And I mean, they were some pretty pairs. That male would stand up on that tree, and that female would sit right there beside him, and they'd cut that tree down.
Really? All right, well, you made 2 Grand Night champions, walker dog man, rodeo man. You know, we had to take just a little pause there and move a couple of dogs. I know y'all heard the dogs barking and stuff. They getting a little fired up. We're out here. I don't know what time is it. 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's getting dark. We got the lights set up, so all the dogs are wondering what the hell's going on. If y'all listeners
We're just
out
under
there.
the pale moonlight.
That's it, baby. That's all we're doing. So we was talking a while ago about the 27 years in the rodeo business. So when did you start?
I started in 1968 at a high school rodeo. I rode steers and stuff, but when I crawled on my first bull, it was 1968 in Belton, Texas.
Belton, Texas.
High school rodeo.
and stayed through till 1995.
I kept riding bulls. I got my PRCA card. Well, back when I got my card, it was called RCA. It was not PRCA. And I got my card and went down the road and tried to make a living.
I heard that. How old were you? You said 16 when you started.
No, I was 17
17. Okay, I got you.
when I started. I took off one summer when I was 17 years old, got my permit and took off. My daddy didn't even, or my mama didn't even know where I was going. I'd been gone for 2 months.
Hell yeah.
And they were going like, where in the world is that boy? But I wasn't in trouble.
Yeah, as long as you weren't in trouble. I mean, that's the way it goes, you know.
I was living the life of the rodeo, what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
so was bull riding all you did in the rodeo?
I got on a few saddle broncs and stuff. Bareback horses just scared me. I just couldn't handle that.
But you ride a damn 2,000-pound pissed off bull.
Well, you know,
I'm just saying. You said the damn.
Well, the girls always like scars.
Oh, I heard that.
You know, bull riding sells tickets.
Yeah.
The rest of them just sell clothes.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to shout out to Cinch Apparel. Yeah, we cinch them down. Thank y'all for sponsoring us at the Hog Dog events. All right. So, through the rodeo stuff and all that, like I said, now during that time, how much time did you put in on the dogs? Did you get to mess with them very much then?
Not as much as I'd like to. I was cowboying and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I wasn't rodeoing, day working and stuff. And I had some catahoulas that I used to work cows.
Yes.
Like I had a big, nice, pretty rental Jeep that used to ride behind my saddle, and I'd ride to the back of pastures. I worked for a man that we run 25 head of mama cows, 2,500 head of mama cows, I'm sorry. And we traded off with a lot of other ranches. So when we go in, you know, you had to sit there and everybody would long trot to the back of the pasture, and then he would start down the fence row and lay everybody out, call your name, you'd pull up, stop. Well, I don't care if you went through 6 gates going back to the pens, you better be in the same place that man left you at.
There you go.
If Joe was in front of you when he called your name, Joe better be in front of you when you got back to that pen, because it was not a good deal. But she would ride with me to the back and then get out and make sure that, you know, and gather cows with me and push them to the pen.
That's pretty exciting life there. I think it would be. You know,
it was a lot of fun, especially when you pulled into the pens and you was riding for another ranch.
Yes.
And their foreman would sit there and call you, hey, Mr. Creek, work gate. You slide that pony up there. Woo! Because when they got you that, when they asked you to work gate, they wanted to see, they was going to throw some heat on you. Because what gate is they were going to bring you all the mama cows, and you had to hold all the calves back.
I got you.
And you let the mamas go out. And if you didn't have a good step in it, you were behind.
There you go.
And they wouldn't cut you no slack.
So they want to see what you're made of.
They want to see what that horse is. Nothing. A cowboy doesn't. All they want to do is see a good horse.
Okay, I got you.
They want to see a good horse work. And that's where we're at today. That's why we're all here. Because we want to see a good dog work.
Yes. It's the same, like we was talking about a while ago. You know, you got the same purpose. You know, we're all after the same goal.
Yeah.
The process is a lot, you know, it's the same process. And the end result is, it depends on what you're working with and what you put into it.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
If you don't put everything into it, you don't have good quality stock, you're not going to be on top.
No.
You can't half-ass it with shitty stuff. You got to have good stock, and you got to be all the way into it, or you ain't going to be on top.
Well, if you don't understand what you're trying to work with and what you're trying to do, you're not going to understand the whole picture anyway.
I agree 100% on that, and I think that's where a lot of people fall short. They don't fully understand what they're working with.
Yeah.
You know, the whole schematic of it. You know, a dog and their behavior, what to look for, the way a dog acts and stuff like that. You know, they just got a dog. That's all they know. They just like, well, I bought this dog from so and so, and it bayed good. Hey, it might bay good for a little while, but you're fixing to mess something up.
Well, he may bay good for you, but he may not bay good for me.
That's a fact.
I mean, I've got some dogs that guys hunted at night.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs didn't like hunting at night. And, you know, for some reason, and like I had one, she didn't have a really problem with the night. It was the guy's attitude that she had a problem with at night. And he hollered at her all the time. And she didn't like it. And when you'd holler at her, she'd tuck that tail, go back.
She'd shut down.
Yeah, she wasn't about to hunt.
And it's the same exact thing you're talking about. It's energy. Are you giving off positive energy or negative energy?
Yeah.
A dog understands that way better than we do. Well, like you just said, we get to hollering at them, scolding them, and they can feel that if you're in a shitty mood, that dog knows it. If you're in a good mood and you're confident, that dog knows it.
Boy, you ain't telling me nothing.
There you go.
I had a blue heeler when I was cowboying and stuff that rode on my truck all the time. And I could walk out the door in the morning. And if she bowed her head down,
yeah,
and I was going like, I'd look at her, Bill, but don't tell me I'm having a bad day. I'm on a good roll. Come on.
Trying to spruce you up a little bit.
And she just,
but she already knew.
She knew that glow about me or air,
aura.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. That aura.
That's what I'm talking about. I pulled that out the hat. But no, they do. They really understand that. And I've had people, and I take a dog that they was gonna cull it, and I was like, well, let me mess with that dog a little bit. And then it wouldn't be 2 weeks later, I'd send them videos, that dog's working, doing everything.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't do nothing. I just put the dog where it needed to be, and the dog liked me, and I liked the dog, and we're working pretty good together. I can't explain nothing else.
A lot of people sit there and try to force the dog to be what they imagine that dog needs to be.
Yep.
Instead of trying to make that dog better at what he's thinking he needs to be.
I think all of them have a job, but it might not be the job that you want them to do.
Yeah. Like
you just said, one dog might be a better squirrel dog, and then that squirrel dog that somebody's trying to make a good squirrel dog, that some bitch might be the best bay pen dog you ever seen in the world.
That's right.
And then again, it might not. It might just be a good pet. You don't never know. It could work cows. You never know. You got to put them in that position.
I've got dogs that I hunt with. Well, I don't hunt with them anymore. They're gone.
Yes.
But that I started with that. I had my strike dog. Everybody has a function in this team. It's just like lineman, fullback, quarterback, wide receiver. Every dog had a function in my bunch of dogs. I ran 4 dogs. I had 2 hounds and 2 curs. And one of the curs, he was not a leader. He was a follower.
Yes.
But he was the best shut down son of a buck that I had. I mean, he would go, and you could sit there and watch him on the garment. When them hounds moved that track fast enough and got it going good enough that he could smell, you could see him pull them hounds.
Yeah.
And when he pulled them hounds, I'd sit there and look at you going, he's fixing to bay.
Yep.
He's fixing to bay. And then them hounds would come up there because that dog would shut him down. And then that other cur that I had, he was one of my best rollout dogs.
What was their names?
Kane, Shorty, Sue, and Hunter.
There we go.
I still got Hunter. I still bring Hunter to some of the bayings. When I first got involved in baying, I didn't have any bay pen dogs. I just had wood dogs.
Yes.
So Hunter was the dog that I brought. Because Hunter was going to get in her face.
Yeah. There
He's
you
gonna
get
bring
busy.
it to them.
There you go. And you know, not every woods dog will be a bay pen dog.
No, no.
Did you see that fantastic woods dog I had today? We call him the gatekeeper. Because
and he was working the gate.
yeah,
real good.
he stayed on that gate's head. He was on his ass for a little bit, and he stayed on the gate's head. He was trying to get out. I kicked him in his ass to get him out there, and he tried to bite me to get out of there. But I tell you what, you put him on that flatbed, and you ride him around, he'll find your pig. He just would all the people. It's a different deal. Bay pen is a whole different world.
A lot of guys in the woods field that hunt, they just don't understand. They look at the bay pen dogs and they think, but you turn in a hog out in front of the dog. That's not the point, guys. It's not going to bay something up. You know,
Exactly.
you hunt it down and do it. It is bayed up.
Mm-hmm.
What these guys are looking for in these bay pen deals is a dog that will get in that hog's face and sit there and can take that charge that hog's going to put on him. And when you can run sideways, 40 yards across the pen,
Yeah.
and keep looking at that hog,
The whole time, never take his eyes off.
That's a pretty good dog.
It's
just, they're the same dog, but they're just looking for a little different deal.
Yep, exactly. And most of the bay pen stock, I mean, it come out of woods dogs. It all started somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of woods hunters don't realize that the whole bay pen came from woods hunters.
Yeah.
Came from woods guys who said, "Hey, I think my dog bay better than your dog." And they all got together on Saturday, drank a little beer, and said, "Well, let's put them in there and see." And then here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are later, and we're still trying to keep it alive.
It takes all of us. You know, it's all about the dog. It's not about keeping a sport alive. And it's not about me. It's not about you.
That's right.
It's not about any. It's about the dogs and everything that we love.
I agree with that, 10,000%. You know, talking about the woods stuff versus the bay pen stuff. I've talked to a lot of guys. I mean, a lot of them. And all of them have, as far as competition sense, they're like, man, if we could put on a hunt where we could have judges and do this, and see who really had the better dog. I'm sure there's a way to do that, and you have picked around a little bit, and you have come up with it.
It's funny that you say that, and I first started coming to Earl's 8 years ago with Custer's Magazine.
Yep.
They started bringing me there, and that was right after American Hogger and stuff, right here in it. Sign autographs and stuff, and I'd never been to a bay pen.
Yes.
Never seen it. So I got to watching it and everything. I went, they're pretty good dogs. That's some athletics on both.
Yeah, they are.
I don't care what you say. But so I got to thinking, and when I started getting involved more in it, I went, there's got to be a way to introduce this to the woods dog world.
Yes, sir.
There's got to be a way. And I've been thinking and pondering on this for 2 years now. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of spokes in this wheel to make things work. I mean, to get this thing to turning. And I have finally put it all together.
There we go.
Come February, the third weekend in February, I think the dates are like of next year, or 17th, 18th, and 19th or something. We're going to have the first Woods Dog Rendezvous.
There you hell
And
yeah.
we're going to find out just who's got the best wood dog. This ain't going to be no hunt deal where you're going to have the biggest stringer, the biggest hog, or anything, because all of that stuff goes. You're figuring on who's got the best land.
Property, yes.
Who's got the most land and it can run where the best hogs are.
Yep. That's who's going to win that.
And who's got the best health.
Mm-hmm.
Health's going to be number 2. Because if you don't have a good team, and all you got to do is have one screw up,
That's it.
it can just cost you the whole day. And then your dogs are next. Well, this deal coming down is going to be the dog. It ain't going to be nobody else but the dog.
Like you said a while ago with the bay pen stuff, it's about the dogs.
Yeah.
This is the same way.
This is all going to be the dog. And what we're going to do, the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chase out.
Mm-hmm.
I come to a deal, we're going to have it in Tyler, Texas.
At the Boars
At the
Nest.
Boars Nest. And yes, it's going to be in a pen. It's going to be in a high fence pen. And I know somebody's going to jump, already start and roll their eyes back. Well, it's a pen. It's all about a pen. Well, grow up, big boys.
That's
Put
right.
your big girl panties on.
That's right.
It's, I promise you that every hunt, it doesn't matter, it's got boundaries to it. So
Oh, yeah.
you know, we're all in a pen of some sort, some way or other.
Exactly.
And I guarantee you that your dog will not know that this is a 6-acre high fence.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want your dog running off, and we have to spend 2 days trying to catch him because he's run off
That's right.
and he's chasing some deer, and then trees are popping.
Nah.
We're not. No, we're not doing that.
Oh, that's right. Or in a hole with an armadillo.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Well, it's the truth. I mean, that's what. If you were to just say, hey, we're gonna go to this 100,000 acres wide open and turn these dogs loose and see who has the best dog, that's what we would run into.
Yeah.
Sooner or later. And sure enough, there's gonna be some dogs that can do it and hammer down every time. Then there's gonna be dogs, like you said, we're gonna be chasing dogs. You're gonna have just a world of shit going on all over. And this is a controlled environment. But like you said, it's the same exact the process and the end result.
The dog is going to have to. I'm going to lay down a scent trail that the dog is going to have to follow. I'm not going to stick a hog out in the middle of the field where they can see it.
Yeah.
This hog is going to be in a trap, and I'm going to camouflage it just like this hog is in a thicket.
I got you.
So your dog is going to have to go locate this hog and bathe. I'm going to have 3 judges in towers where they cannot interfere with the dog in no way, shape, form, or fashion. And they're going to sit there and watch and pick out. And by the way, these are going to be woods dog hunters. They're not going to be bay pen judges.
Yep.
These are all going to be wood dog hunters. And they're going to get paid. We're going to do whichever dog locates that hog first, he gets 100 points. The next dog, I'm stealing some of this off the coon hunt. First dog going to get 100. Second dog getting 75. Next dog 50. Next dog 25.
I like
Then
it.
it's going to be to those judges how that dog behaved, what they thought. And I'm going to take 3 because I'm going to kick 1 score out.
I got you.
And I'm going to let the hunters themselves pick which score they want kicked out. If they want the highest one, the middle, or the high one.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to ask my judges is do a percentage deal, 1 to 50.
Yes.
And just what they think. Some of them are going to like that dog to stay up there close. Some of them going to like them to back up. It's going to be up to that judge.
Well, I mean, that's when you're in an event like that's what it comes down to ultimately is how your dog performs and how the judges see it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you guys out there that are listening, if you're interested in doing this, keep that in mind. It's not going to be what you want, and it's not going to be what Mr. Ronnie wants or none of that. It's going to be up to the judges. It's going to be how your dog performs.
Yeah. But
he can't just run up there and like I said, you have the hog over here brushed in good, camouflage. Yeah, the dog might take that track, run right up to it, veer off,
and
then
be he's got to acknowledge the fact that that hog is there.
Yeah.
If he just runs up there, smells, and turns and runs off, he's not his timing is not started.
Yeah.
He's judged for it. Or he will not be classified as a dog that got there first. Whichever dog runs up there and bays at that and acknowledges that hog is there, that's the one that gets the 100 points.
Just because he's first don't mean that.
Yeah. He's going to be, that dog has got to be the first one that acknowledges that hog is there.
I like that. I like it. Well, I'll sign up for that.
I hope there's going to be a few.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to throw this off. I'm sitting here and listening to woods hunters whine and cry and bitch because, you know, they just ain't nothing for them. Well, I'm trying to give them something.
That's right.
And there's going to be some wrinkles in the first one.
Oh yeah. Well, it isn't everything.
But I'm going to have to iron some wrinkles out of it. But if we don't get it started and get it done,
that's right.
I don't know what to do.
Well, it's like, you know, I done the Shankathon hunts, and we had some virtual weigh-ins and stuff. And there was some guys that were like, "I'm not doing it. I ain't doing that. I want that hog. We got to bring it in there and weigh it in and all this." I said, "Look, technology. There's so much technology now. Like, and you said something when we first talked about this about having some cameras, so that way, you know, people aren't going to be allowed right up there in the stuff.
Nobody. We're not going to have grandstands sitting out there and doing this and watching this.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to have is cameras in the field where those judges are at, so you're seeing the same thing that judge sees. And they're going to be broadcasting the signal to big screen TVs where everybody can sit there and watch what's going on.
Yes, sir.
The judges will never know whose dog that is. They'll never see.
I like that part.
They'll never see that man that turned that dog loose. All the dogs will be casted. You cannot walk your dog. You're not going to drive your dog. You've got to cast him. That's the only way that I see that it can be fair. I mean, I know that there's a lot of guys that rope dogs, walk dogs. I understand. I'm with you. I understand it. But there's no way that I could do that and it'd be fair.
Yeah.
Because Joe could go in there and come back and go, "Hey, Harry, the hog's on the right over here. Walk that way."
Walk that way. Yeah.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to have it.
Yep. Like I said, I like it.
I'm going to try to get it. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to lay the scent trail to that hog. I'm not going to make no big deal where it's an obstacle course for the dogs to run. It's going to be pretty simple. We're going to only give them 15 minutes. This is a 6-acre high fence. It doesn't take a dog very long to get around 6 acres.
No, not at all. And the thing about it is, like you said, the hunters can see what the dog's doing. Everybody can see what's happening with the dogs. But they're not standing there over the dog, so there's no interference. The judges don't know whose dog it is, so they can't be like, "Well, this is so and so. That's my buddy. I'll score his dog a little better."
Yeah.
So ain't none of that shit. It's all about the dog.
The dogs will wear collars. You know, that one will have a red collar, blue collar, yellow collar, or something. But there'll be 4 dogs
in that cast,
in the cast itself. Now, if your dog, and I will have a line judge, if your dog walks up to that line and growls at another dog, your dog is disqualified immediately, because I'd rather one person be mad at me because that judge called his dog than 2. Because if he turns, that line judge allows that dog to leave that line, and he jumps on that other guy's dog, now I got 2 guys.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm going to have 4 fists that I got to watch for.
That's right.
Instead of just 2.
Yeah. Two's a lot easier.
Maybe.
2's a lot easier than 4 of them. I guarantee you that. But so on that, what kind of have you come up with anything on like what the prize will be, is it going to be like some of these hunts that we do, you know, whatever the entry fee is, a payback on that, and then a guaranteed money?
I haven't got any guaranteed yet. I'm looking at $100, pay 80% back.
Yes, sir.
And so, like I said, I haven't been told that I got any guarantee yet.
You got $1,000 guaranteed purse from Dixie Doggers.
Just right.
$1,000. Shake
Thank
that
you,
right
sir.
there. That's from us. We're gonna put that out there, and because we won't be the second sponsor. Boars Nest is gonna be the first, and then.
Yeah.
But I'd like to get in there because I mean, the way I look at it is you're doing stuff that people have talked about. Well, ain't no more talking. Now we're doing it.
In my world, talk's cheap, takes money to buy whiskey.
That's exactly right. So we're
gonna party down.
That's right. We're gonna get a little whiskey money going here.
Yeah.
And like you know, and if you woods hunters out there is listening, you know, in which we have a good audience that, and most of the guys they woods hunt, and so y'all, you know, while you're sitting here listening, you think it over now. Think about how he's laying his format out. $100. All of you know you're gonna spend $100 a piece minimum to hunt any kind of hunt. But this one right here be one for the books to start out with. It's something that nobody's done. So y'all make sure to keep listening, pay attention to Mr. Ronnie, Tuskers, social media stuff, because it'll be on there and it'll be getting around. We're gonna get the word around. We're gonna get some interest spiked up, and we're gonna get some entries.
When you talk about Tuskers, the rules and stuff will all be posted in Tuskers. If there is hog hunters out there and you're not getting a subscription to Tuskers magazine, you really need to.
Yes, you do.
You need to support the magazine that supports your sport.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only one out
That's
there,
it.
guys. Come on.
That's it. That's the only one.
We try to put all the rules, laws, and stuff in there, because if it goes on in Oklahoma, it's going to go on in Louisiana, Texas, Georgia, Florida, anywhere.
Sooner or later,
they're going to trickle down. So we all got to group together and be a family that we are. We need to quit bitching and fighting and fussing between ourselves, because it's all about the dog.
Yeah, we're all in this together. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
And I think what you're doing there, like I said, it's one of those things that you can bring a good group of people together. And like I said, it's not going to be for everybody. We know that. There's going to be people that they don't want no part of it, and that's fine. Y'all just keep the negativity out of it, though. We're trying to do positive things. We won't, you know, if you have comments or you know, anything to say or something like that, hey, if it's negative, keep it to yourself. You know, let us have our good time and move on and try to do something good for the sport. If you ain't doing something,
if you haven't got anything good to say, then come up with something better.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
That's exactly right. I'm with you on that. Because like I said, it's one of those deals where it takes a lot to do it. Like you said, there's a lot of spokes in it.
Yeah.
And to have all of it work, it's going to take probably one or two hunts to get it to where it's real. Get
it all ironed out. Good. It is.
But it's going to take people signing up and hunting in it before we can even wrinkle it out.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to have people sign up. And so, you know, like I said, there's a $1,000 guarantee. That's a pretty good incentive to me. And then
it is.
Gonna work on some more sponsors, try to get that guaranteed money up, some prizes, stuff like that. And hey, a woods guy might be able to go out and make him $4, $5, maybe $10,000. You don't ever know.
You know, and I'm not knocking the hunts and stuff. By no means I've done them. I don't do them anymore. It's just because I don't have the dog power to do them. So, or the bunch that I did before. But because they take out a lot of hogs. I mean, we have a hog problem.
Oh, yeah.
So it takes the hogs out. So I'm not going to sit there and knock it. I think it's great. But we need to do something else.
Yeah, something a little different.
To focus on the dog. Not how much land you can hunt or anything, or how good your team is. You know, it just, this is going to be the dog. Because and I'm just grasping this in the air, if I've got, say, 40 teams, 40 dogs show up.
Yeah.
Once we do that, I'm going to take 12 of the highest scores, and we're going to run it again.
There we go.
See, and we're going to bring it down. You ain't going to be a fluke. That dog's going to have to go back. He's going to have to do same thing in the bay world.
Like going to the bay off.
Yeah, going to have a bay off. Going to have a run off. All I'm doing is taking the chase out. The dog's still going to have to hunt, going to have to locate, they're going to have to bay.
I don't see why it won't work.
I don't either.
If everybody get off their ass and come do it, it'd be wide open.
If you're scared, stay at home.
That's exactly right. But like I said, my dogs ain't worth a shit, but I'm gonna be there.
Well, I just hope I'm not gonna run any dogs, but if I did, I just have to make sure that there wasn't no coons around.
Yeah, well, mine's armadillo. If there's a damn armadillo around, I'm gonna catch that sumbitch. I guarantee you that. I got the best armadillo dogs there is. Now, if we had an armadillo hunt, you can go and write my name on the trophy.
Well, speaking of that, Ed has skunk hunts.
Really?
Yeah, they have competition skunk hunts with their hog dogs.
I heard that. We don't have a lot of skunks where we're at, but we have a bunch of armadillos. Bunch of them.
There's plenty of coons around.
Yeah. I know we found quite a few of them over the years, ain't no doubt. Sometimes old coon though give a dog a hell of a match too though. You got to watch him.
Oh yeah, I've had a couple. That was the only thing about my hounds. My curs wasn't so bad about it, but my hounds they wouldn't tree a coon, but if they run across that son of a buck on the ground, the fight was fixing to be on.
He's gonna get him.
And if he got in a log jam, I mean they knew he was right there, and they gonna sit right there in that log jam,
burn him up.
And I just gone.
Yeah.
And every time they ever did it was right across the river on the other side.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, man, I can't believe that.
That's right. And I mean and if more people were honest about it, because there's some guys that their dogs they never do that. I'm not saying that there's dogs that ain't never done that. I'm just saying you didn't go to that damn coon because something was there.
Yeah. Well, there used to be a deal when I was rodeoing that said a cowboy, somebody said, well, I've never been throwed. Well, you never got on then. Because if you hadn't been bucked off, you just didn't get on.
That's right. Well, that's like saying, well, I ain't never been whooped. Well, you didn't get many scraps then.
Yeah, you kept your mouth shut.
That's exactly, because sooner or later, something's going to happen.
Oh, if you look for it, somebody's out there.
Oh, yeah, they'll give it to you.
Yeah.
There ain't no doubt about that. So, hey, y'all just keep your eyes out. Mr. Ronnie's trying to do some good stuff here, making big moves, and I mean, we're going to support you. And I know there's a lot of other guys that are going to support it. I know they will, without a doubt.
Well, I hope there is. I mean, it just y'all keep up with it. I'm going to put, there's going to be information put in Tusker's magazine. We're going to put stuff out on Facebook and stuff when I get all the rules. I'll get all the rules written up.
We'll keep it on all our stuff, too. And we got the Boars N Broads guys there, too. I mean, they got a big following. We'll see if we can get their dogs out there.
Okay, and since we gone through this, now what was you telling me about Georgia? That you had been thinking about doing something like that, maybe in Georgia?
No, Mississippi.
Mississippi, excuse me.
Yeah, Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a good friend of mine. His name is Chris East, and he's got a place down there. And a lot of guys in our area, they went down there. It's in Quitman. Anybody that's ever been, they know exactly where I'm talking about. And he and I, there's been several of us. We've talked about the same situation, but it's 500 acres. You get 500 acres, and it's a lot harder to control that environment. Just like you were talking about, if that dog if he runs past that hog, he veers off and he takes off and goes over yonder. See, that's the part that we got to figure out how to close that in a little more. So you already got that part figured out. So we'll see how this one goes, and then we'll work on that one. See? And so now we can have them in two different parts of the country, and this can be an ongoing thing.
That's exactly right. That's exactly where I was going with that.
Yep.
You know, it just, you got to put spokes in the wheel to make it go round.
Hell,
That's all it is.
If you don't never turn it, it
Yep.
won't go.
So I just want, I'm trying to bust my ass to get shit done. And I know it's not going to be completely right. Like I said, there's going to be wrinkles in it.
Oh yeah.
But I'm going to work them out. And we're going to have a nice starch rendezvous.
And look, if all the woods guys, they get there and they can give you some ideas and say, hey, we could try this or something like that. Because there's somebody's always got a better idea, a better plan, or can make it better. And if it's positive.
Yeah, if you got a positive attitude, I don't mind listening to you.
That's exactly.
But if you're going to come up there and just tell me something about,
don't want to hear that shit.
Well, I'll listen to you, but it's going to go in one ear and out the other.
There you go.
But if you got something positive to help, I'm all for it.
Yep.
We'll see if we can't work it. I'll listen to you, and then I'll tell you why it won't work.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when you were talking about the 500 acres, I thought, that thought come across my mind, having more acres than dogs.
That's the issue. Is where you gonna catch all them dogs?
To keep everything rolling, you got to keep this thing rolling.
Because if you don't, then people are gonna be like, well, shit, I've been here for 4 hours and it ain't my turn yet.
Yeah. And I don't think I've said this, but your dog has 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
To locate and bay this hog.
Yeah.
If they can't do it in 15 minutes, everything's gathered up.
So it's kind of like in a bird hunt or a rabbit hunt. That's a competition style. It's a brace.
Yeah.
It's called a brace.
I think that's right.
Because we do the rabbit stuff with the terriers in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then we'll come out, but now their braces are a lot longer, and it does take up a lot of time. I mean, there's 30-minute brace, but then you got 15 minutes before that, and then 15 or 20, and then sometimes that dog, you can't catch him back up, and then it can drag on. So I like the 15 minutes. I like that part a lot.
Well, they're either going to have to get it done, or they...
Well, 6 acres, I mean, shit.
It don't take long to go around 6 acres.
No, they ought to be able to find that thing and get the baying on him. A good dog should. Ain't no doubt.
I was on when we were filming American Hoggers, They took us on a ranch up in Albany, Texas. The Arbuckle Ranch, 23,000 acres.
Oh, the mercy, that's a lot of dirt.
And one day we were gonna have just a freestyle hunt. And went out. And the first rattle out of the box, they had a lot of hogs. We run up on 25 hogs in a bunch, running across the road. It was on like Donkey Kong.
Oh, I bet.
We went to flipping gates, had dogs running everywhere. And by the time I had 4 dogs that were bayed for 4 hours before we could get to them.
Man.
And we had dogs that got off of the 26,000 acres.
Good Lord.
And they're going, oh, no, we're not having that no more. So that's part of the reason American Hoggers and stuff, and a lot of people fuss about it. Well, they did this. We had to have a controlled atmosphere.
Yeah.
We're only this is a 30-minute show. It took us all week to film it.
I wonder how many people started hog hunting because of that show. I know quite a few. They never knew the whole schematics of it, and then after that show came on, people was like, I know there's tons of guys that been hunting for years and years, and they was like, man, that ain't how I hunt. That ain't how this goes. And that ain't how that goes. But the guys that had never done it, they were like, oh shit, I got to do that.
I've been cussed more, threatened to be shot. And everything, and I was never voted the ambassador of the hog hunting world. And it was not me. I broke my neck.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got out of the hospital, I had dogs.
Yeah.
I put up, and I did not know what I was going to be able to do or anything else. And I put 3 of my best bay dogs up for sale and my best catch dog. And Leah came and bought my catch dog. And when we were sitting there talking, she said, "You ever thought about being on American Hoggers?" And I went, "Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In a dream." Well, I never thought it was going to, exactly the way it was, but I learned,
Mm-hmm.
and, but at the moment, that was the only thing I could do.
Yeah. I mean,
I got bills to pay.
I thought it was a great thing. I mean, myself, I never had any issues with it. I watched every damn time it come on TV.
Well, I really kind of enjoyed it, and from the way they did things, I started training some young dogs.
Yeah.
It worked great.
Yeah.
When I come out of it, they were rolling.
Hell yeah.
They were looking for hogs.
So Leah, she came and got so you knew them. So you knew Jerry.
No, I didn't know any of them.
You didn't know any. Okay, so that's how you met them.
That's how I
Through
met
that.
them.
Okay, I got you.
We were, no, we didn't know each other.
All right.
Leah just saw that I had a dog for sale, catch dog for sale, which he was on the TV show when they were in Louisiana and couldn't catch any hogs.
Yeah.
They brought him out because they didn't have any dogs that could catch a hog. So Leah was looking for dogs.
Okay.
She was looking for a catch dog, and she bought old Biggin.
So that's how it all started.
That's how it started.
I got you. That's pretty cool. And so Biggin, so that's in the story about Lucky.
Lucky, yes. Biggin.
So when you're writing the story in Tuskers,
Yes, sir.
so I got you now.
Yeah. Biggin teaches Lucky how to catch. And I'm going to tell you what, Biggin was one of the best catch dogs, and he wasn't nothing but a big, blocky-headed Catahoula male that had just all kinds of grit. At that time, before I went in the hospital, we were averaging, 450 hogs a year with
It's a
dogs.
lot of hogs, especially with dogs. That's a lot of hogs,
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure there's guys out there that say they catch 1,000, and there are.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we catch 150, 200. We don't have the hog population, and we don't have the big properties like we used to have. Everybody comes in and buys all the land up around, and then it's broke down into smaller sections, and we get what's left.
That was our biggest problem back in Texas. You'd have a farmer that had 2,000 acres out here that he had corn planted in, and there was a draw that ran through the middle of it,
Mm-hmm.
that there was 15 acres of trees, and somebody bought it and didn't want you hunting it because they had deer hunt. They wanted deer hunt in it.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of an ongoing thing between guys that run hog dogs and deer hunters. And look, when we say deer hunters, we don't mean guys that run deer dogs.
Yeah, we're talking about the guys that don't run.
Yeah,
deer
that
dogs.
don't run deer dogs. Guys that just hunt in a stand or
Yeah.
shooting houses or box blinds or whatever you want to call them. It's a touchy subject. It's hard for me to say sometimes exactly what I want to say because I don't want to say the wrong thing. But it's like, guys, we got hog dogs. I ain't got no damn deer dogs.
Well, I didn't. I mean, that was the quickest way to get run off in Texas.
Oh yeah.
If your dogs messed with cows or chased deer,
Yeah.
you didn't come back.
That's right. And that's,
if you didn't kill, and unfortunately, if you didn't kill the hog,
you wouldn't get no more.
you wouldn't. If you turned him loose, they wouldn't let you back.
Yep.
But we had a big hog problem.
Yeah.
I understand that, a lot of places don't. I understand that.
Yep. And they've made it a law in Alabama now. I mean, you got to kill every hog. You got to dispatch them on site. You cannot have a live one. No form or fashion at all. Whether you trap it, whether you run dogs, it does not matter. So it's got to be killed upon capture. And, that's a good thing to control the hog population. It is. But you know, we don't have any way that we can train dogs unless it's on the ground. They got to be hunting. You cannot have a pig and say, you know, we're gonna work puppies today, or we're gonna do this, or do a mock hunt or anything like that. Oh, hell no. Yeah. So I like to think we have good dogs because they have to hunt, you know. And this will be the hunt that you're talking about doing will be a good way to see the difference in dogs from Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma. Get all of them together and have those dogs do the same thing in that controlled environment and see what's what.
I mean, in my dreams, I see this going to maybe other states that can do this, and we have different ones, just like these baying competitions and stuff.
Yes, sir.
That one day that we can have a deal just like Earl's and stuff.
Yeah.
That we can have all of the top dogs come out of that state, all meet at one place.
That'd be all right.
And have a competition.
That'd be something. That's something we could work towards.
Yeah.
All it takes is doing it.
If you don't have a dream, you don't have a goal.
That's exactly right. And that's the thing about it. Like you said, to even get to that goal, you got to start.
Yeah.
And if we don't start now, well, hell, all we're going to do is talk about it. Like everybody's been doing for years. So it's like, look, let's get off our ass and get going.
Yeah, let's go.
That's it. So
don't forget February 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Yep, it'll be on
2023.
Yep, 2023. Tyler, Texas.
Boars Nest.
That's exactly right. We'll be there. And if we could have, like you said, 40, 50, 100.
That would be great.
That'd be great. You know, let's see how many that we can get to show up, because hey, there's places to park. You can stay there. You can camp.
Yeah.
They've got a bay pen there. They hold all kind of events.
Vendors and stuff there. And like I said, this is going to be a rendezvous.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good time. Sit around the old fire, drink a little moonshine.
There you go.
And talk a little BS.
Yeah.
And then we're going to see whose dog can put on the show.
I'm in that. I like that. That's why I started coming to the bayings. You know, going on hog hunts every other day or every weekend or whatever. You get to meet a lot of different people, but there's a lot of times where it's just the same 3 or 4 guys or 2 guys or whatever, and that's all it is. And then every now and then you'll get together with another group and you'll hunt. But the hog dog community, we're kind of spread out. Yeah. And there's reasons behind that, and there's a lot of good reasons behind it. But it's also, things have changed a lot over the years, and if we don't make the changes, then it's never going to happen.
That's right.
So we got to make the changes as a whole.
That's right.
So, you know, is anything else you want to add on?
No, sir.
That's about it.
That's about it.
All right.
I just want to see everybody there.
Well, by God, you'll see us. Mr. Ronnie, we appreciate you being on here.
I appreciate it.
So let's get this thing going, y'all. Hey, everybody, thanks for listening. We appreciate the support. We got our store up and going. Y'all check out Dixie Dogger Supply. Thanks to Jake Lacano and all the hog band. Thanks to Mr. Paul, Rusty Mayshore, Marc Bannister, all these guys that keep this stuff rolling so that we can enjoy it. And thanks to Mr. Ronnie for getting us started on some hog dog events that's more for us woods guys. So we appreciate it, and we'll get back with y'all. Thank you.
Adios.